What's up, guys? How are you doing? My name is DK Reviews. I want to welcome you to my channel, where for now I'm just gonna try to do reviews of music albums, TV shows, maybe movies. We'll see how it goes. Games. But I want to start with a hip hop album that just came out. Rick Ross's "Port of Miami 2." And we'll see how it goes. So, if you do not know who Rick Ross is, he's a Florida based rapper who released his first studio album in 2006 titled Port of Miami, which now, after over a decade, he made a sequel to. That's when he rose to fame. He's been consistent ever since. One of the most consistent rappers out there right now, actually. Although he's still talking about the same things on all of his albums, on pretty much all of his songs. It seems like people are still enjoying it, me included. But now let's get to the album. Let's get to the point. We're gonna go song through song, through all of them, 1 to 15, and I'm gonna put in my 2 cents, and we'll see how it goes. So the very first song, "Act the Fool," featuring Bally, Rick Ross brings out the usual topic of money and girls here, even showing us how much he loves both those things in one line in particular, saying, take a couple stacks and give that to your girlfriend. Love to see pretty bitches kissing on pretty bitches. Apart from there, Rose flows on this unique beat perfectly and spits our typical Ross bars. For example, in the first verse where he raps, "Got your bitch so wet, I'm stepping out in rain boots. Thought it was about my way I came through." Okay, nice. Wiley offers a decent feature, and even though this beat sounds more Meek Millish, kind of, who ends up on the seventh song anyway, "Bogus Charms," it's definitely understandable why Rick decided to put Fall Around on this track. Ross told me, "Homie is chess, then he made checkers the move," one of the lines Bally says, and although it may seem simple, it's also perfectly put on this song, as Rick Ross bought Checkers Drive in restaurants earlier in 2017. He also ends his contribution on a high note with "Pink laces on my Jordans or pink boxes on my condoms and my closet boy." I really like that line. Second song, "Turnpike Ike," the very first song without a feature and one of only three. Although not the most impressive lyrically, it offers the conventional smoothness, I would say, that has represented Rick Ross throughout his entire career. With the title "Teflon Remembers the Florida Turnpike," which is a road that runs approximately 300 miles from Miami to Wildwood. This track shares the same instrumental as Wally's "Groundhog Day," and blesses up with great female vocals at the beginning as well as in between the verses, where Renzel has short conversation with his girl, wanting her to praise him and tell everybody how much money he has, which this already completes the good old trio of money, girls, and cars, and only on the second track. Three, "Nobody's Favorite," featuring Gunplay, a song with a title that perfectly summarizes Rick Ross as a rapper in the industry, I would say. Because I know a lot of people that listen to hip hop, and I've never in my life heard Rick Ross is my favorite rapper. But also, never in my life have I heard from someone that I know, "I hate Rick Ross." It seems like he's a rapper that just everyone likes, but no one loves enough to name him as their favorite rapper. That's just what I kind of get from all of this. But he rides amazingly on this beat again and spits some of the best lyrics on the album. "Diamonds on her neck, diamonds on her wrist. I put her diamonds on her mouth, 'cause it's diamonds on my dick." I love that. Simple, but still pretty clever. All the feds talking pictures, so I pose for the hose. Also like that. Then fellow Florida-based rapper and a member of Rick's group Triple C's Gunplay comes on with some weird bars like "Anytime, get in line," like a rhyme in a poem. Not really feeling that. Just just a weird bar. Or the following line: "White lines in my foreign, hit rebound on the porn. That's your main, she my side, couple times pay my bond." Again, not this one is not the worst, but whatever. But generally, his contribution to this is pretty decent and closes in my opinion, one of the best songs of the album rather well. Then we have "Summer Rain" featuring Summer Walker. Here, Rick Ross raps about a summer fling in two verses with the input of a R&B singer, Summer Walker, on the chorus. Her vocals provide the usual soulful energy she's known for and help make this song a bit more memorable. It's decent, but I would say this is one of the worst tracks of the album, but still at least okay. Wide Lines featuring D.E.J. Loaf to complete the stereotypical hip hop album. Teflon puts this song on and dedicates this track with a feature from a Detroit native to drugs. It wouldn't be a Raw song without the flexin, which therefore appears multiple times with lines like Virgil sent me some sneakers suckers never seen. For Louis V, I'm still a fiend, flip a brick and make a wish. And then he also references the most popular song of all time right now, Old Town Road. I may pull up in a Porsche or may ride up on a horse. Yep, not a bad song. Then we have track number 6, Big Time, featuring Swizz Beatz, an impeccable track that's got everything one should expect from Rick Ross, in my opinion. Not only does it have a phenomenal beat from a prominent Jay-Z or T.I. producer, Just Blaze, that simply hypes you up, and a hook that also follows the same pattern of being incredibly catchy and listenable in most situations, and moods even. The song is bettered by great lyrics from Rose. Lines such as tried to feed all my homies and spread the cheddar around. Got a castle in Cali where I quote the Quran. It's a mansion full of gods till I pass the baton. Or can I live? My memorandum panel systems come to the source Benzino of C notes. Nice. Or I pray somebody tell you about these bumpy roads. Only maps to follow is your Bible quotes. Or I watch your actions, not just captions in the shit you post. These are, in my opinion, some of the best bars on Port of Miami too. Listening to Big Time is generally a sensational experience. Track number 7, Bogus Charms, featuring Meek Mill, a track talking about an important topic in the hip hop world, fake things and people, which I think is pretty hypocritical coming from Rick Ross, as some of the things he just raps about is pure BS, and not that kind of BS that just rappers, make up a story. But Rick Ross is just is just a hypocrite. It feels like in most situations. But one of the lies that profusely occurs in rap is keep it real, and I guess Rick Ross reminds everyone of that. Meek Mill shows up with the second verse, which is filled with emotions and passion. The connection between Teflon's verse and final verse, and Meek's only one on the track, is clear, and the zest and ardor that they both offer makes this a memorable song. What takes away from it, in my opinion, is the hook, though. But that's just my own personal problem, as it reminds me of some of rather forgettable Eminem tracks with Skylar Grey. I Need a Doctor excluded, though. That was a banger. Then number 8, Rich Homie Lifestyle, featuring Nipsey Hussle, Teyana Taylor. The beautiful sample used here might be of some resemblance to OG hip hop listeners, as it's taken from Does Your Mama Know by Rudy Love and The Family, a piece that was liked by the man himself, Diddy, which made him put it on Jay-Z's song Sweet from his 2007 album American Gangsta. This track also has a posthumous verse from the late Nipsey Hussle, as he and Ross rap about their luxurious lifestyle. Sadly, not anymore. Not a lifestyle anymore for Hipsy. Rest in peace. Nip also manages to diss Takashi 69 from his grave while rapping. I can't name a fake homie that was not exposed. How y'all homies so surprised that Takashi told ain't a real street homie unless you got a code. I mean, that's just, what a shame for Tekashi 69 to be dissed from grave. They're also accompanied by the Kanye West signee, the very talented Teyana Taylor on the hooks. The 28-year-old is known for providing vocals on some of iconic songs, like Yeezy's Dark Fantasy or Hell of a Life off of his classic 2010 My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy album, or even Talk About It by Jadakiss and Fabulous from the collaborative project Friday on Elm Street, released in 2017. Everyone contributes to this amazing beat in their own way, I would say, and it creates another unskippable track from the list. Then we have number 9, Born to Kill, featuring Jeezy. Although I like the topic and the theme of the song and the way both rappers approach it, there is one big problem with it. The beat is just not interesting enough to revisit the song, and Rick certainly does not help it here. He isn't a flow changer, and therefore, even though the lyrics aren't bad at all, it makes it sound very bland and tedious. Jesus' feature is nice with bars like "So many birds have cycled at a landy land," uh, "Pussy, homie, turn to owls." They like who pussy. I mean, who, homie, whatever. However, it doesn't compensate for Rick's monotone and never changing sound here. Then track number 10, Fascinated. Sonically, a very good song. Beat and vocals are on point and give me that Good Kid, Mad City, or To Pimp a Butterfly vibe. Although his is, for obvious reasons, very slow here, and again, never changes. There are lots of emotions connected to this track that go with it. Rick Ross just simply dedicates himself, his soul to it, and makes it sound fresh. Even though Rose has been mostly talking about the same things throughout his career, which is money, cars, and when we've already talked about this. He shows us that he can clearly speak on important social issues like black people still suffering massively in the hood. And also, this is a second song where he's without the feature, and it works especially well here. Track number 11, I'll Still Pray, featuring YFN Lucci and Bo Greasy. The vibe of this song suddenly changed with the 10th and 11th track to a much more serious atmosphere, with Teflon rapping some of his most sincere bars I've ever heard from him. This particular track, for example, is about him being hospitalized after he was found unconscious at his home earlier in 2018. And at first it might seem like this track and the previous one don't even belong on this album, like they have been misplaced. But once you go through them, you realize how well they connect to the rest of the album. Even because let me get this straight. Even for people who only ever listen to a very small portion of Rick's songs know that he's the type of guy that mostly likes to flex and talk about all the things he owns, everything he can do that others can't. However, encountering this health problem and feeling almost dead, he says how he would give all his money back for his life and to make life in the hood easier, which is something that I would never ever expect from a Rick Ross song. Then Bo Grease's hook elevates the song to another level and blends so well with what Rose says before him. His own verse, which is also the last one, shows just how much talent he has and makes me personally excited about what I hear from him in the future. Then there is another story though, and that is the YFN Lucci's part. Not that I don't like his lyrics, but I just can't stand this extremely auto-tuned electro voice. And it's especially annoying here because without it, he sounds really good. I don't know whose decision it was to make it like that, but it ruins an astonishing song for me. I really, really like this song. It's just a shame that they did that. Then we have Running the Streets featuring a Boogie with the Hoodie and Denzel Curry. All three artists rap about being the bosses in their hood and how much they lost there. And this again continues the more honest vibe of the album. And although Boogie with the Hoodie's voice is also heavily auto-tuned, it just, I don't know, it fits the song well and doesn't make me feel unpleasant. His contribution, both in the chorus as well as his own verse, is pretty decent. The best part of the track, though, comes when Denzel kicks off. He outshines everyone else. And is like a breath of fresh air, not only on this song, but on the entire album, with his somewhat faster flow after Rick Ross's slower approach that he usually has. His verse truly ends with a climax. I mean, like it's supposed to. When he says working later, so I'm sending a message off to my queen. If I don't make it out alive, you and I is the only thing important to me. In case I die, message received, she's a blessing indeed. Make sure I put something away for when she carry my seed. For my unborn son, I got a few words left. Be better than me and everything on my last dying breath. Uh, this is definitely one of my favorite songs and one of my favorite features from Denzel right here. Then we have Vegas Residency, third and the final song with no feature, and quite frankly, one of the best of Port of Miami 2. Rick Ross just quickly shifted from a boastful rapper to a conscious one, and honestly, I dig it. I love it. B and the soulful instrumental made by the incredible group of producers Justice League is flawless and screams Outcast or The Roots, which I'm very happy about because I like every beat on every album from them. Then Rose kicks things off, talking about Kanye West and Trump with lines like, "You're watching Kanye interview, feel like I wanna cry for every innocent brother charged with a homicide. Went from battle raps to now we wearing Make America Great Again hats." Then continues with another great bar. Bill Cosby dead in prison. I could see the quotes, headlines when them white boys get to pay a fine. Never raping women. Keep it on some player time. Facts, hate, and pray you catch a heart attack. Crazy. Here he just connects the seriousness and self-awareness with the bond and is working his way to end this album on a very, very high note, which I'm so happy about. Then one of the most anticipated songs on not only this album, but on most Ross's albums is Maybach Music. This time, Maybach Music 6, featuring one of the greatest rappers of the 2000s, Lil Wayne, as well as the one and only John Legend, who again proves that he has great chemistry with Rick Ross on this song. The track was originally supposed to have Pusha T on the last verse, however, he was removed prior to the release. The reason might be his beef with Weezy, as apparently he didn't know he was going to be on this. Teflon just, I guess, wanted to help them resolve their problems, but in the end, just couldn't work it out. So had to choose between the two of them. He chose Weezy. I kind of understand why, even though it's a shame because Push spazzed on the song and had arguably the best verse, at least in my opinion. It still doesn't disappoint though. Raw starts with some fine and funny bars like "All Dick Riders, your label labeled erotic," or "Playing both sides convicted you with verdict. Pay little rider, commit you up for the murder. Chains all hollow. I peeped soon as I heard it. These homies be talking shooter, but quick to send their attorney." But the one that made me chuckle even more was Wayne's Target line. "I'm at target practice, you at target chopping." Cool. All right. All artists deliver here. I'm very, very happy about the Maybach Music 6 and makes me even more excited for for the future of Maybach Music series. And then the final song, Gold Roses, featuring Drake. We've already seen that the collaboration between Ross and Drake works very well on Money in the Grave, which was not only a song for the radio, but a one for your car when you're driving in the streets or the highway, or for a great party at a club. That's usually what people expect from tracks with Drake, isn't it? Uh, I mean, especially if he's rapping. However, even though this song has a great beat and a splendid Drizzy first verse, it ends up being a lot longer than it should have been, in my opinion. The last verse is just completely unnecessary and drags it all the way to 6 minutes and 18 seconds. But I suppose as a single, it works, right? Pretty much anything with Drake will be played everywhere nowadays, anyway. Yeah, so that's that. That's all the songs that are on this album. There are 15 tracks. I went through all of them. Now the overall album. I've heard I think all of Rick Ross's albums. I think, and if I'm being honest here, this is one of the better Rick Ross albums, and one of the best ones, arguably. I'm really happy for Rick Ross here because with sequels, it's always hard. Not only in movies, not only in music, not only in games, but also in TV shows. Like pretty much everywhere, when you make a successful first step, it's not hard to make the good first step. It's hard to follow up on that. But Rick Ross did a very good job, and I'm happy this is more of a I don't know, more of a Marshall Mathers LP2 case rather than Lost Tapes 2 case, which still was a decent album, but the original was just much better. And yeah, or like Run the Jewels, who have three great albums titled Run the Jewels. Although it's a bit different there, obviously. So yeah, I'm really happy for this album, and I think what helps Rick Ross a lot, not only here but on his previous albums as well, is the beats. The beats help him massively, and here they are very, very good. The beats here are just so good. Like even the Gold Roses beat is very good. Just the lyric, it's too long for me. But Active Fool, for example, such a great beat. The both Justice League beats that they made with Maybach Music and Vegas Residency, so good. I just felt everything here. Every single beat was incredible. And with Rick Ross, with rating his albums and with enjoying his albums, I think what is the biggest difference, or not the biggest difference, what is the biggest thing that you're gonna encounter here, is whether you are bored of him, whether you're bored of his never changing sound, not never changing flow, most cases, never changing lyrics, still rapping about the same things. That's the problem you're gonna encounter. And even though I usually get bored of things pretty quickly, this isn't the case. For me, he's still not that repetitive for me to not enjoy him. And as I said, I enjoy this album very much. Maybe not as much for the lyrics, even though they were really, really good here from Rick Ross, uh, as I enjoyed it for the beats. So a big plus to everyone that had their hands in the production on this album. And yeah, that's it. I'm giving this album a rating of 7 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you liked it, please share it with your friends, share it everywhere you can. Just, yeah, I hope I'll see you again in the next review, which probably will be another music album review. We'll see who comes up with what. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you next time, hopefully. Bye.